Recently, I bought this Ford Focus RS from the salvage auctions here in Perth. And in the previous episode, we discovered that I actually knew the previous owner all the way in Melbourne.
I think I know this dude. Is he? I swear I've got this guy on Facebook. I know this dude. I did Ninja Warrior with him. That's crazy. I'm going to send him a message right now. That's 100% him from Victoria.
So I was able to get in contact with him and find out this thing had over $10,000 worth of modifications and performance work done to it to make it a track demon. So we started stripping it down, and with some parts and panels from the wreckers and Ford dealership, we are rebuilding this car to get it straight back on the track where it belongs. So we wasted no time in pulling the front end off and getting it to a point where we can inspect all the damage and see exactly what it is we need to do to fix this car.
And now it looks like this. The whole front end completely torn apart. I do have the bonnet on though, which I just got on to make sure the bonnet hinges were okay. And one needed a little bit of aligning. So I had to take off this front fender just to get to these two bolts here and modify that. So bonnet's on now. We've got these front sections here, which I've painted black. They were painted in ST orange as they came off an ST. And from factory, they're color coded to the car. So you can see the old one is blue. They're hidden, they're not seen. So I thought it might as well just be new part black. And when you order these from Ford, they come in black plastic. So we get that fresh part from the dealer look. Now we are missing some parts. There are a couple of plastics that I found when taking it off were cracked. So I have ordered those, but they haven't arrived yet. But good thing is I can put them on at any time. It doesn't need to be totally stripped apart. So we'll go ahead, put these on, get the front end all mounted up, freshen up the intercooler, get that back on. It should look like a complete car in about 4 hours. All right, first up, we're putting this front crash bar on. Now, as you can see, Monster Energy, whilst I'm not sponsored, has been an integral part of this rebuild. From not only supplying the blocking caps for the intercooler piping, as you can see here, perfect fit, but just supporting the build, literally, as well. Perfect height to hold the radiator and condenser somewhat in place while I get this on. Right, next up, the intercooler. So obviously, looks a bit worse for wear. The paint's just flaking. I think it's just a bit old, so the paint started to separate. That's not actually due to the crash, it's just separating really easily. So I'm gonna give it a little sand off all the paint from this top part here and just sort of rough up the sides and give it a fresh coat of black.
Immediately after starting using the Whizzy wheel on this thing, I regretted it and realised I could have just used a paint stripper on it and saved myself an hour of my time and a whole heap of mess. But once I started, I'm not a quitter and I'm just going to finish doing it the way that I'm doing it. Then I moved on to installing all the plugs and all the little brackets and bits that go into the back of the upper radiator stay, including the bonnet hinge, the airbag sensor, and the bonnet release cable. Then it's on to installing the airbox, which I realised I should have put on before the upper radiator bracket just to make it a little bit easier. It was a little bit tight getting it in, a bit finicky. But we got that in, got it all plumbed up and ready to go. And the front end of the car is now starting to come back together.
Right, so airbox is in and fitted. The headlight has also arrived. So you've got to get the headlights in and fitted and correctly spaced out to the panel and the bonnet. Bonnet's on, but the hinge doesn't align up correctly. So I've got to align the hinge with, or the bracket doesn't align. I've got to align the bracket with the latching mechanism, as well as keeping the panel gaps. Lining up panels is just a nightmare. It takes hours. So, but in good news, the intercooler is done. That looks bloody fresh. Well, fresher than what it did. So that's all that matters here. And once this is lined up, be able to sort all that out. The front bumper I thought was rocking up today. I just got the notification that it's been sent today from Melbourne. So hopefully that rocks up in the next couple of days, because this has already been booked in for paint at the panel shop. So I might just have to install this front bar to sort of help with aligning, but I mean, it's cooked along there, so maybe not. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. So let's get this bonnet lined up, let's get it latched in, then get the fender that I took off. I've got to line that up too, because I took that off to get to the bonnet hinge, and then get the headlights in. About 4 hours later, still not where I want to be. So as you can see, got the headlights, put the headlights in to sort of help adjust the bonnet. I just can't get the bonnet right. I don't know whether it's the hinges or if I'm just a bit cooked, but I just cannot get this bonnet aligned correctly to the point where it clicks in down here and also sort of clears. I mean, you can see there's a bit of a, it's hitting that headlight there. There's a huge gap there. This panel's loose, so obviously there's a huge gap there. It doesn't really matter. But I've left the bonnet loose so I can move it around. And even with all 4 bolts loose and sort of shimmying it around whilst it's down in this position, I still can't get it right. So I'm thinking maybe the bonnet hinges are cooked, because obviously the bonnet was a bit cooked from the crash. Maybe it bent the bonnet hinges.
5 minutes later.
So 2 huge boxes just rocked up, as well as a couple of other boxes, but I'll show you those maybe next episode. But these, front bumper and a bunch of plastics, all genuine from Ford. Now, the only thing is, when I ordered this from Ford, it didn't have a picture of what it looked like. And it said, full front bumper assembly. I thought it would come with all the little bits and bobs. It didn't. It's a bare front bumper. So I'm missing this center garnish here, all the grills and the fog lights. So the fog lights from this front bar, I have been able to save. The grills, this lower grill, these little side grills, savable. This upper grill, I mean, realistically, they're all savable because bend it flat, take them out and bend them flat. So I just need a new center garnish, because this one, there's a massive gouge taken out of it. And I mean, up there, it's cooked and all the bits are snapped off it. So I'm not even gonna bother trying to save that. The only other thing is missing these on this bumper and obviously on this, wait a minute. Doesn't even have a hole for them. Well, okay, so you got to cut those out on your own. This is genuine from Ford too. See, that's wild to me, because I got this for $900 delivered. A third party one that came with everything, fog lights, grills, complete, like everything complete, front bar ready to be painted and stick on. That was $1,500. The only reason I didn't get that is because it was also $1,000 delivery. So for $2,500, I thought, well, I can get a genuine one from Ford for $900. So I'm just gonna do that. Who'd have thunk it that in the genuine one, I've got to cut my own windscreen washer holes, which is insane. But genuine means it's gonna fit right. Aftermarket front bars are an absolute nightmare, as you would have seen with the Chrysler 300. All I'm gonna say is that if you're ever buying a front bar for a car, always, always, always go genuine. But we got it. And back when I used to own an FG XR6 Turbo, I put an FPV fiberglass front bar on it, and that was a nightmare too. So I've learnt my lesson, genuine front bars only. But in this box here with all the plastics and accoutrements, I've also got some brand spanking new bonnet hinges. So this car needs to be dropped off to the painters today. And whether I do that in pieces, so take the bonnet off, both front guards and the front bar and take them in, or whether I drive the whole car there, depends on if these bonnet hinges fix the bonnet alignment situation. So there's no time to talk. I've just got to put the camera down and get straight into it. Yes! All right, so I've decided to rip off all the panels, put them in the boxes, get them to the painter. That way I still have this here. While this is here, we can fix up all the cracked plastic on some of the other parts and also get these headlights working because the Parkers don't work. I messaged the company, tried to get my money back, but they just ignore you. So I reckon with a little bit of fandanglery might just mean some pins on the inside might need changing around, or some wires might need something on the inside sorted out. So it just means we have the car here to continue doing everything else so that when the panels are painted, it's panel on car rego. At least that's how it goes in my head. And I have no doubt this will pass with flying colours. Because as you've seen, we haven't really done much. We just replaced the entire front end, I guess. I guess we've done a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna go drop all this off at the painters and I'll see you back here in 3 seconds. And we're back from the painter. It's a different day, but right now, plastic welding. I've never done it before. Just cracked open a fresh plastic welding kit. Seems easy enough. Welded enough steel to have a basic idea. A couple thousand hours on the old hot metal glue gun, so sure this will be super easy. But what are we plastic welding, you might be asking? You didn't ask, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. A whole bunch of different stuff. This don't need a plastic weld because I got a brand new one right there. But do have to get the wiring off it and transfer a little wiring loom for the foggies onto this one because this runs across the top where the hood latch is. That's where the hood latch goes, and it also runs down behind the fog lamps, which try and repair these. Now, I'll give it a crack. If I can't fix them, I'm just gonna have to buy new ones, but these are bloody expensive. So we'll give it a crack. This one is perfectly fine. We've got the upper radiator stays, which both have been broken in pretty much the exact same spot, but easy enough to get back together. And then we've got the ECM brackets, which I'll have to do onto the ECM itself, which is sitting down there. But I'll do that after I mess around with bits up here. I'll get some practice in on that and then we'll move over to the ECM. So I really don't want to mess that one up. So first off, we'll clear some room on the bench, take this wiring harness off this unit, put it on the new one, and then we'll start doing all the little bits of plastic. Now normally I would do this on my bench over there, but with the XA there and this, there's a bit going on. So a little mobile workstation here.
So straight off the rip, transferring the wiring harness over to the new plastic piece. And this is just for the fog lights. There's no parking sensors on the Focus RS, which is actually kind of weird now that I think about it. But that's onto the new part, and then it's onto the upper radiator stays, which thankfully just cracked in one piece. There's nothing missing here. And then the super satisfying moment that the repair piece melts into the actual part. And then did a couple more of those to help it strengthen up. And it's going to be much stronger than what it was originally because now it's got steel all through it. Or is it stainless steel? I'm not too sure. I'm assuming it's stainless steel so it doesn't rust. But anyways, cut the ends off all those, sanded them back. Might even give it a hit with matte black to complete the rebuild. Those are good as new. And now it's onto the under tray, which has, as you can see, massive crack up the front, little crack on the other side, and then at the back of the other side, decent sized crack. All right, all that time later, finally done. So as you can tell, sort of sanded away where I've done it, but that is strong as all hell now. So a bit down there, all through there. Now that is pretty much a brand new under tray. And I've just finished the ECM holder, but I haven't gone through and cut all the individual, because it just takes a long time to cut each individual piece and then sand it down. But it's like I bought one now, strong as, so that'll connect up there. I'll cut all those down, sand them back, make it look fresh. But that's pretty much it. We've got the wiring harness on that goes behind the new front bumper when it comes back from paint. This will then sit underneath here. Obviously, once all the guards and whatnot go back on. I've also just finished up the intercooler by doing the mount tune stencil. And the tape did peel off some of the old black that was already peeling away, so I might have to touch it back up again, but got the logo on there so you can see it. Some people prefer the more stealth look of the black intercooler, but I don't know, I'm going full Focus RS with the rims and tyres that I've got for this thing, which you haven't seen yet, and just the general appearance of it. I want it looking like it's got some work done to it. Obviously,
So when I go to sell it, it stands out a little bit more. But that's pretty much everything for this episode. It's ready for all the panels to come back from the panel shop. And then once they're on, it's pretty much take it to get it inspected, see how it goes. So if you enjoyed the episode, if you're enjoying this journey, give the video a like, and hopefully you consider subscribing if you haven't subscribed yet. And I'll see you guys in the next video when we're getting the whole front end together and making it look like an actual car and taking it for a little test drive. Once again, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.